All right, so finally we got the Usyk Joshua fight, or Joshua Usyk, and whatever, just around the corner. Yeah, in 4 days. What can we expect from that fight? Well, first of all, I think this is a fight that is pretty important for both guys because. Especially for Usyk, but also for Joshua, because if he should lose this fight, then that will, you know, that will not look good for him because then he has lost to a smaller man who a former cruiserweight, even though Usyk is one of the best cruiserweights ever. So, but anyway, um, I don't know if that will really damage his future fight with Fury, but it would sure damage his ratings. Sorry. Yeah, it would damage his ratings definitely. And if Usyk loses, well, I don't think he would be really damaged by that because anyway, I think most people are kind of not really expecting him to win this fight because how big the size difference. I mean, especially the weight difference is the size. The height is all right, maybe 3 inches, not so much. But the weight difference, I guess, is like at least 20 pounds or something, 25. I don't know, which is not that little, in boxing, in sports, in a sport like boxing, where yeah, that can really pay a big, yeah, make a big difference, pay a play a big part. Yeah, so I think Usyk will look to simply stick to what he does best, and that's moving and boxing and jabbing, and, avoiding exchanges and because he did that for most of his fight with Chisora, who is nowhere near, Joshua in terms of either punching power or overall, I guess, quality, as a fighter. Um, because Chisora is more like he's a good fighter, of course, solid, but not the type that can really, win fights against the best heavyweights out there. Usually not. Yeah. And Joshua will look simply to close the distance and land those punches, land the jab, and simply to, if possible, put Usyk out, knock him out or do enough damage to get this decision anyway, yeah. I think both will be maybe a little cautious in the first 4 rounds. Um, because after that Ruiz loss, I think Joshua is now playing it a bit more safe than he did before, because now he knows that he knows what can happen, if he gets too reckless. He knows that he can be stopped now, and that size doesn't really pay that much, yeah, play that much difference. And, even though I don't know how hard Usyk can hit really as a heavyweight, because Ruiz, he does have some power, and he's got really fast hands, and that's not something Usyk has, I would say. But he's still faster than Joshua, of course, definitely. And yeah, So whatever. I think simply it's a little bit difficult to judge this. It will be difficult for Usyk to get to win, simply because it's in UK, and he will have to really, outbox. He will have to school Joshua simply in order to win. Even if he should win like 7 rounds, that may not be enough. Yeah. I see some guy. I mean, I think many guys expect Joshua to win and by a late stoppage or something. Well, I don't know about that, but it's not that I can't see that happening. But so far as a cruiserweight, Usyk was simply impossible to stop. His chin is so good. Of course, heavyweight is another thing, and we know get hurt definitely, but can Joshua do that to him? Is he that good? Is he that dangerous? Well, that remains to be seen, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know really what else to say. There isn't that much to say. I think I said the most of it already. What do I expect? I actually expect Joshua to win on points in a fight that will be maybe a little bit more strategical, something akin to the Joshua versus Parker. I thought that fight was actually closer than many people, and then the judges had it actually, but yeah, Joshua still won convincingly on the scorecards, so that's what I'm talking about. He's the favorite. He's the home favorite. So even if he should not win more than 5 or 6 rounds, I think he will likely get the decision. That's how things work, nowadays. Maybe 20 or 30 years ago, it would be a little different. Not that much, but I guess it was a little better back then. Now, when it's a big fight, yeah, I mean, mostly works like that. You get if it's a close one, then the home favorite gets it simply, and yeah, that's simply the way it goes. If they were fighting in Ukraine, then I would be a lot more positive to Usyk winning on points, and I think that's the only way he can win this fight because we have seen. Despite Joshua getting stopped by Reese, he was taking a lot of punishment by a really fast-handed guy, and he has taken a lot of punishment against Klitschko, but he still, came back and stopped him in the end. So we know that he can take a punch. He was also hurt against White. So I don't think Usyk can ever stop that guy, but Joshua can stop Usyk, of course, but it would take a lot of uh, a lot of good work simply from him, a lot of precision, good timing, accuracy, all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't think there's such a big chance of this fight, ending by a stoppage. Maybe a cut stoppage. There's always a risk of that happening, of course. But in the end, I think it's very like 19% likely to end by a decision. And yeah, I can see, of course, it being a close fight. I think most likely it will. Yeah, but Joshua will very likely get it, or maybe it can even end as a draw. Maybe who knows? So that was, I think, all I had to say on that. Thank you. See you.